Does my butt look big? I can't tell from up here, the lights are so bright. I don't want to be handcuffed by a cord or a wife. First of all, just thank y'all so much for coming out here and supporting Texas Center for the Missing. This is a big deal. We just are thrilled that you guys are here. You know, I'm proud to say that I would much rather be with the people in this room than the finest people in the world. I mean that. I really do. Just, you know, I love beer. I don't know if any of you guys know me. I've got a few fans in the crowd, but thank you. Well, I'm proof that God made beer because He loves us. He does. You know, and I agree with that. You know, as Homer Simpson once put it, he says, beer, my true weakness, my Achilles heel, if you will. That's me. I love everything about beer. I love the way it tastes. I love the way it smells. I love the way it goes down my throat. I definitely like the way it makes me feel. And it definitely makes me look incredibly sexy. Yes. Well, believe it or not, this is true. I actually like the way beer sounds. Now, some of you guys know I have a 3-year-old son, and he was born 3 years ago. And when he was born, Nanette was knocked out, and I actually made an attempt to try to get my son's middle name changed to Bear, B-E-A-R. So his name would be Cole Bear West. Would that just be the coolest name ever? I mean, that boy would be like NASCAR bound. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, he would have been the coolest guy on campus, just like I was. I know you guys are laughing, you're like, there's no way. That laugh I know was, did he really go to college? Yes, I did. I did when it was only necessary. I graduated magna cum barely from Texas A&M with a BS degree. Yeah, you can read into that how you like. Speaking of college, you remember, I mean, there's only a few of us, Dan, Lahane, yeah, you probably recall this time of your life. Dan's tend to throw down a few beers. When you went to that beer store and you would buy a case of beer, I mean, you just turned 21. Man, I am set for a week. All this beer. Well, those days are long gone. Case just doesn't do it anymore. You know, there's this saying that says, you know, there's 24 beers in a case, and there's 24 hours in a day. Coincidence? I think not. Well, you know, I've since moved on from there. You know, nowadays I can drink a case of beer before I pull out of my driveway in the morning on the way to work. So I've kind of graduated from that. I've now moved on to a keg. I now installed a kegerator in my house. I'm very proud to say that. It holds about 13 gallons, and you know, it lasts a couple days. And but man, those things are heavy. You got to drag it back and forth to the keg store, and so I'm thinking big picture here. You know, I was walking in my garage the other day, and I was tripping over all my kids' toys, you know, all the stuff they love, you know, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to sell all that crap on eBay, and I think I'm going to build myself like a brewery, just in my small, you know, I'm always raising the bar, folks, okay? You know, I really feel sorry for people that don't drink. I really do. I mean, think about it. When they wake up in the morning, that's as good as they're going to feel all day. That's horrifying. I never want to experience that, ever. You know, I've had, you know, since I've known to have a few pops here and there, I've had, you know, some friends of mine, which aren't close friends, that have said, you know, hey Cliff, you ought to really consider rehab, you know, that might be for you. And I said, well, you know, I just don't think it is for me. I just, I don't want to be labeled a quitter. You know, it's, no way. it's like I always say, I can quit drinking anytime I want, I just don't want to. You know, rehab is like one of the hardest things you've ever done in life, bar none. You guys gotta keep up with me, I'm quick. You know, speaking of rehab, has anyone here in the audience, I know a few of them, that have been to rehab? Anyone? Yes? Anyone else? Dan? Bueller? Really? Golly. I swear I was in your house the other day and I saw this t-shirt that had AA on the back, and in the back of it said, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I thought that was you, but you know, one of the things, I would consider it if they flipped the A's and it was anonymous alcoholics. That would make sense, because now everyone in here is like looking at each other. Because it could be anyone. Anyone could be an anonymous alcoholic. So I would fit in perfect. I would show up, no problem. You know, I quit drinking once. I did. I'm not proud to say it. It was after I passed out. And that and/or I finished my beer, but I'm usually pretty resourceful. I've got things around me. I usually can get back to my beer, and I survive. So it's a painful experience, but you know, I've done it. Hold on. I forgot where I was. Oh crap! What the hell was I supposed to say? Wait, hang on. I'm just killing off a few brain cells, okay? The weak ones. The weak brain cells. Okay, it's coming back. Cliff, you have a beer in your sock. Everything's gonna be just fine. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I was worried. Always have backup. Always have backup. Always on cue. Hey, any of you guys ever been to Lufkin, Texas? Up near Nacogdoches, East Texas? Cute little town. I've got a cute little grandmother that lives there, and I was there back when I was 20 years old, and I haven't been back here to Dry County. Yeah. You ever had one of those nights, and I know there are a few in here that have, that just had one of those nights where you just got like snot slinging drunk? I mean, we're just like, duh. And it's like one of those nights, you know, where you're laying down and you got to put like one foot on the floor just to keep your balance, you know, so you don't drop your beer in your other hand. Yeah, I've maybe had one of those once or twice. But I mean, I don't drop my beer. And the thing is, it's the same night where you get all religious and you're swearing to God, I'm never going to drink again. This is so bad. This room's all swirling and screaming. It's terrible. You wake up in the morning, you're like, thank God. Yeah, I've had one of those moments, maybe. You know, some people say, I don't know whether it's true or not, but some people say that drinking is bad for your liver. Well, I don't know if that's true, but in my case, I got a liver a cat wouldn't eat. You can't even put it on a hook. The fish won't take it, trust me. Y'all want to hear a really bad joke? I mean, I've already told a bunch, so I'm sorry to yes, I'm sorry. I'm punishing you people ridiculously. Okay, you ready? Obama. I thought I'd get a much bigger reaction out of this than me. I mean, there's a lot of things that guy's done that's just a joke. But you know what? I'm not going to completely trash, and we're not going to talk politics, because I think y'all kind of figured out my topic for this evening. There'll be a test on that at the end, by the way. That it was about a year ago, and all this nonsense, he's always involved in nonsense, but he was in this big controversy, political correctness garbage, and there were all these, news all over everywhere about what he said and what he did, and this guy, I have to respect him. I mean, during one of these hard times, he made one of the best presidential decisions I've seen in my 40 years of being alive. And that's when he called for the beer summit. I thought that was true leadership. When there's a problem, let's call a beer summit. You know? So I've started, entwining that into my household. And, my wife and I, we get in a disagreement. I'm like, honey, come on, let's sit down, honey. We need to have a little beer summit. She's so cute, she'll come sit down, she'll set a case of beer in front of me. And we'll start talking, and, after a few beers, we'll work it out. That or I'll fall asleep while she's, bitching at me. But anyway, it's okay, but it's worked. And so I think, we've learned a lot from that together, you and I, Nanette, and it's been very valuable. Y'all want to hear something, y'all want to hear like a really terrifying noise? That's the sound of a floated keg. Well, anyways, that's all I got. My keg is floated. I'm out of material. Thank y'all for being supportive. That's all I got. Viva la